Hi children. Today for 9th standard, the biology part. In the biology part, we can take the diversity in living organisms. So, diversity in living organisms. Usually, the living organisms are divided into that is unicellular and multicellular organisms. You know that definition for the unicellular. The cell is made up of single cellular organisms are called as uni or single cellular organisms, whereas the two or more cells become multicellular organisms. Plants, animals are called as multicellular organisms. Here, the classification of living organisms. Why we have to classify the organisms into group? Because to identify the groups and the function of we learn the functions and characteristics of the organisms. For that purpose, the scientists divide they will characterize depending upon the characteristics and the functions. They will differentiate into their groups or it may be their families. Okay, children. First, that one, the scientists are divided that first the name, the class, after that order, and then family. So genes, and then species. You know the species is a group of populations. So population of a living organisms. First class, order, family, genes, species. For example, in our family we can name it as our family name is like this. For example, it may be Gaudas or it may be like that. So like that the living organisms also having some names and their family and genes and also species. In the year 1894 and that Ernst Haskell, in the 1959 Robert Victor and 1977 Carl, these are the scientists. They will classify the organisms into their groups, into their class, order, family, genes and species. In that one, the first group, that is Monera, the kingdom Monera, the kingdom what called as Monera. In this Monera group, it has a definite nucleus. It has a nucleus, definite shape of nucleus or an organelles. So on the basis of this group, so the organisms are diversity based on many characteristics. Some of them are having a cell or without a cell. So it may be a cell or it may be without cell. In that one, the group belongs to the the bacteria, the small bacteria. So that is belongs to the kingdom Monera. This bacteria belongs to kingdom Monera. The mode of nutrition of organisms, it may be group or it may be single. Mode of nutrition means what? So nutrition means the sufficient food for the organisms, the bacteria. Sufficient food for the bacteria. The mode of nutrition, it may be in a group or it may be a single. And then the environment, the nutrition taken by heterotrophic nutrition. The bacteria usually do the heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition means these bacteria depends upon the others for bacteria's food. Okay. And for example, Annabella or cyanobacteria are the examples for bacteria. Bacteria, it consists of the nucleus, definite nucleus, and the mode of nutrition is heterotrophic nutrition. It gets the nutrition in group or it may be not. For example, cyanobacteria, Annabella. Next kingdom name is called as Protista. In the Protista, the group has a kind of unicellular organisms or eukaryotic unicellular organisms. Unicellular, you know that one. Uni means what? Single cellular organisms. The mode of nutrition is, it may be heterotrophic or it may be autotrophic. Autotrophic or it may be heterotrophic. So in these kingdom organisms, it may be unicellular, it may be autotrophic, it get a nutrition by autotrophic nutrition or it may be heterotrophic nutrition. called as locomotion. Here is a special structure that is flagella. Okay children, the protista, the order or the class we call it as the protozoa. In that one the organism's name is called as paramecium, amoeba, euglena. Amoeba, paramecium and euglena are unicellular organisms. Let us discuss about the paramecium. The paramecium, the cell body is filled, means it will be covered by a thread-like structure. Thread-like structure, it helps to move from one place to another place, and inside the nucleus is present. And when compared to the amoeba is a shapeless body. It contains also nucleus. It can change their shapes, so it can take the food by pseudopodia. So it is a special organ present in the amoeba. So there is a vacuole present in the amoeba. It takes the food. For example, this is amoeba. So it takes the food using a vacuole. So it closes this vacuole, and this part of the amoeba is called as pseudopodia. Pseudopodia. Here we is silent. So it closes the vacuole and it will be digest the food. So it may be autotrophic or it may be heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Euglena also, it has a flagella. In the flagella, this is called as flagella. It helps to move from one place to another place. That is, it helps in the locomotion of the organisms. So this is about of the protista. Protista is it belongs to unicellular organisms. The mode of nutrition is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Example, paramecium, amoeba, euglena. And next one, that is fungi. It is a heterotrophic nutrition. Yes, this is called as mode of nutrition is heterotrophic nutrition. It can grow by usually in the dead and decaying matter in the food. So it will be grown in which place it will be grown? So it will be grown in the dead and decaying matter of the food. For example, if we take some lemon or tomato, cut the slices, so keep for 2 days, we observe that air-like formation are grown on the body. It may be coconut shell or whatever it may be. So we observe that a thread-like formation grown on the decaying matter of the food is called as fungi. Okay children? So it may be, for example, if you take some bread and some moist bread, keep for 2 days. So you observe that a black hair-like formation grown on the bread. That is called as fungi. For example, aspergillus, penicillium, agaricus. Agaricus mushroom belongs to the agaricus group. Okay children? Some fungal species live in permanent mutually depending upon the relationship in the blue-green algae. So the cyanobacteria, the blue-green algae is one. So it will be get the relation between the two organisms, that is called as symbiotic division. Okay children? So these symbiotic life forms are called as lichens. So we have all see the lichens as slow growing large colored patches on a bark of the trees. You know, lichens may be usually present grown on the bark of the tree. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮರ ತೋಟೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು lichens ಒಂಥರ thick ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂಥರ ನಿಧಾನ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ. This type of lichens are slow growing, that is a dark colored patches grown on the bark of the tree. Okay, so this is about the fungi. Examples for fungi are Aspergillus, Penicillium, Agaricus. So next, the organisms are mainly divided into Plantae and Animalia. Plantae means the plant, the kingdom of the plant. Animalia means kingdom of animals. In that one, first we discuss about Thalophyta. Thalophyta. Plants do not have well differentiated body designs. So usually when compared to the other organisms, the plants have not have well designed or differentiated a body, because you know that the twigs or it may be leaves are different from one leaves to another leaves. Here we take examples. Spirogyra, the Thalophyta. Example for Thalophyta are Spirogyra and Ulothrix are the examples for Thalophyta. In this Thalophyta, it has no definite designer shapes. So Thalophyta, for example, Spirogyra. So Spirogyra having a cell wall, chloroplast. Inside the cell wall, having a nucleus and cytoplasm. So here a thread-like formation present in the Spirogyra. See here. This is a zigzag design. So that is called as pyramidals. So it present inside the cell wall. Chloroplast, that is a water substance, that is a fluid substance present in the cell. Next, Bryophyta. Second, plantae. Plantae means plants. Okay. Bryophyta. For example, Rhesia, Funaria are the examples for Bryophyta. So usually there are amphibians plants, it belongs to the amphibians plants. What is the meaning of amphibians? You know, for example, if you take animal like frog, that is it may be crocodile. So it live in water and also it live on the water, land, it live on the land. So they are called as amphibians. Here these Bryophytas are amphibian and plants. What is the meaning of that? So it may be grown in water and also grown on the land also. The plant body is commonly differentiated to a stem leaf-like structure. So it may be, for example, when you consider Funaria, so it present, it grown on both the water and inland. So it considered as a leaf and a stem. Here this is called as stem. So this part is called as leaf-like structure. However, the conduction of water and other substances in the body, the main part, that is the stem only, these Funaria. So Funaria is also called as moss. ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪಾಚಿ ಗಿಡ ಅಂತ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ನೀರನ್ನು ಪಾಚಿ ಗಿಡ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆ ತರ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೂ ಬೆಳೆಯುವಂತಹ ಗಿಡಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ Bryophyta. Next kingdom, the plantae kingdom called as Pteridophyta. Here P is silent. Pteridophyta. Here P is silent. Pteridophyta. In the Pteridophyta, here same the groups they do not have a differentiated shape. So here belongs to the stem. So these type of Pteridophyta plants having a stem, roots and also leaves. It has a specialized tissue in the conduction of both the water and the food. Both the water and food means it has a specialized xylem and phloem in the stem. So it helps to conduct the water and food from all the parts of the plant body. For example, fern. You know fern nodidira, it may be used in the decorative purposes also. So it may be sown, that is it will be grown by seed also. So they are reproduction taken by seeds also. It consists of an embryo along with the stored food. We can serve the initial group of the embryo in this fern group. Okay. So again it will be further classified into naked enclosed fruits. They are called as, so the seeds are divided into two types. angiosperms. Angiosperms means it has a specialized seeds. The seed pods is covered, whereas the gymnosperms means it has a naked seeds. Here we discuss about the gymnosperms. Gymno means, so it may be made by the two Greek words. Gymno means, that is naked. Sperma or sperm means seed. So these two words are taken by Greek word. Gymnosperms means naked seed. Okay children. So the example for gymnosperms are cycas. Cycas. You know cycas. Each ಮರ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆ ತರ ಮರ ಅಂತ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ cycas ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So usually this group have paired seeds and usually perennial, evergreen and woody. Example, deodar or it may be cycas. In this group of gymnosperms, the seeds are having naked seeds. Naked means without seeds. Okay, seed coat ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋಲ್ಲ. Okay, example, cycas or deodar. Angiosperms, it also taken from the Greek words. Angio means covered. Angiosperms. Angio means what? Covered. Whereas sperma means what? Seed. Covered seeds. Example for the, so usually they are dicots and also monocots. The angiosperms having a covered seeds, it may be a dicot or it may be monocot. Monocot means seed having single, means when we cut or when we crush the seed, it cannot be divided into half, that is the cotyledons. So they are called as monoledons. It may be cut into, means divided into two cotyledons, equal halves. They are called as dicotyledons or dicots. Children, in this seeds, they have seed leaves. So they are cotyledons. Because of the instant of emerge and become, then it will be green and helps in the germination. These dicots or monocots help in the germination. Germination, you know, so the seed becomes sprouted and then it will be reproduction by the seed only. So that is called as germination. So gymnosperms means naked seeds. Example, cycas. Cycas are each mana anta ಹೇಳಿದಿರಲ್ಲ. So it has bare seeds. ಒಂದು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಗಿನ್ನ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸೀಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. And then whereas in angiosperms is called as covered seeds. It helps to in the reproduction of the seeds. ಆ seeds ಇಂದ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಎಂಬ್ರಾಯೋ ಜೊತೆಗೆ leaves formation ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ angiosperms ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Next class we discuss about Animalia. That is a kingdom Animalia. In this class we discuss about Plantae, kingdom Plantae. In that one, Thallophyta. Thallophyta, example for that, Spirogyra is zigzag structure present in the cell wall. And Bryophyta in the Phalaria or this Riccia, these type of plants having a, it is also using for the some, so it will be grown both in water and also on the land. Whereas Pteridophyta, here P is silent. So fern, you know, fern it is usually used in the decorative purposes. The decorations or arrangements use fern, hasiragirutte. And the gymnosperm and angiosperm. Thank you children.